Hey, what's happening, guys? GamerDev Tim here, and we're going to tackle what Phase 2 of the World of Warcraft Classic release entails and what it means for everybody that's playing right now. So, we're going to go through this list here, and then I've got a few notes just to make sure that I don't miss anything. So, Dire Maul is an instance. I believe it says right here it's found in Feralas, and it's between the levels of 44 and 54. I think Dire Maul is an awesome instance. There's a few things about it I really like. It's a high-level dungeon that doesn't deal with undead entities or dragons in Blackrock Spire. So I know for a lot of people that doesn't matter. Getting to Feralas can be a little frustrating. It's kind of out of the way. It's all the way on the west coast. I get that. But for me, I like having a dungeon that's a high-level dungeon that's different than all the others. It just gives you more variety, and it allows you to pick and choose what dungeons and instances you want to go through. I think it's awesome. It has a PvP item in it as well as an outdoor PvP arena. In the PvP arena, random enemies spawn occasionally, and if you kill them, you have a really high chance, or not a really high chance, but a better chance of getting a trinket, and the trinket allows you to change your character model to look like the opposing faction. So you can walk past the guards in Orgrimmar if you're an Alliance player using this trinket and go all the way into the town and gank people potentially getting through the gates, and you don't even have to be necessarily a rogue to do this. It just gives you the option to do a couple of fun, cool things. Aside from that, we've got Azurgos and Kazak, Lord Kazak being brought up. But before I talk about them, what I want to talk about is the PvP system. So the PvP system here, we are getting the honor system, including dishonorable kills. For those of you who do not know what the honor system is, the honor system is basically allowing us to get rewarded for killing other people of the opposing faction. And when you get rewarded, you can potentially rank up your character. So if you get, say, like 20 kills and you get like 2,000 PvP experience points, you may go from rank 0 to rank 1. Or maybe you start at rank 1 automatically. I can't remember how that works. Maybe you just go from 1 to 2. But at rank 2, I don't remember if you get a reward from the PvP system or not. You might be able, I think you can buy consumables, is that it? You can buy new arrows and new bullets, stuff like that. But I know at rank 3, I'm pretty sure it's rank 3, you get the insignia of the Alliance or the insignia of the Horde. Now let's take a look at this real quick. This is an awesome, awesome trinket. Dispels all immobilizing, slowing, and stun effects. It's amazing. So if you get hamstrung from a warrior, if you get concussive shot from a hunter, hamstrung, it doesn't matter. Anything that is going to cause any of these effects on you, it is going to dispel, allow your character to break free, and then keep attacking. Think about getting stunned or slowed by a mage and you're frozen and the guy's about to cast a frostbolt. You pop this trinket and all of a sudden you're right on top of the mage. He now has a decision to make. Is he going to keep shooting at you or is he going to eat your axe to the face? Probably he's going to run away and try to do something defensive. And that's why this trinket is so awesome. It's purely a PvP item and it makes the game so much more interesting. It really ramps up the intensity of the game. Awesome item. This is the Alliance one. We also have the insignia of the Horde. It says right here, requires Corporal. I believe that's level 3. I'm almost positive that's rank 3 in the PvP ranking systems. We also have, let me go through my notes here. So you don't have in the very beginning the queued PvP dungeons or battlegrounds. Battlegrounds is a better name for it. So Warsong Gulch and Alterac Valley are released in Phase 3, not in Phase 2. Arathi Basin is released in Phase 4, not Phase 3. So that means that if you're going to get all of your PvP points from fighting the opposite faction, you're going to have to do it in World PvP during Phase 2. So hitting the likes of High Warlord before, or Grand Marshal before these battlegrounds are released is going to be extremely difficult to do, if even possible unless you play literally all the time. So I think I saw somewhere online that they're saying that Arathi Highlands is, I guess, the PvP central capital until the battlegrounds come out. I guess there's going to be a lot of carnage there. I mean, I saw a ton of Wind Fury shamans using Hand of Rag Arathi Highlands videos back in the day, so that's definitely going to happen. But again, when the PvP system comes out, that's going to affect a little more than just like killing each other all the time for no reason. If you're leveling now and you want this trinket, there's no level requirement on this trinket. So if you see a level 22 and I'm a level 25, I'm gonna kill you every single time because I want this trinket. Everyone wants this trinket. Leveling is about to turn into a total nightmare. If you don't hit 60 before this happens, it's gonna be a total issue for you because people are gonna gank you all the time. If not, right now they're not ganking me all the time, but I feel like everyone's just trying to level and you don't get anything for killing me. But in the future, you're going to, and it's gonna be intense. That being said, look, let's go here, guys. We have the PvP breakdown posted by Blizzard. Again, I'm using Wowhead for this information. Since we broke down the 6 phases of content that will be rolling out for Classic, we've heard the increase in requests for PvP details, so we wanted to get you up to speed on our plans there. As was the case when World of Warcraft originally launched in 2004, there won't be a formal PvP system in WoW Classic at the outset. You'll still be able to PvP, of course, and there will be no dishonorable kills, so you'll be free to repeatedly hunt down every player and NPC and say Stranglethorn Vale to your stealthy heart's content. I like the stealthy heart right there. That'll change once Phase 2 rolls around and we add the honor system, which will introduce honorable kills, dishonorable kills, and PvP rank rewards. Okay, so I didn't talk about the PvP rank rewards. On top of getting this trinket, there are sets you can get. I think starting at level 5, you get your first piece of PvP gear. Then level 6, then level 7. I think you even get a free mount at like a free epic mount at like level 11. I'm almost positive. I kind of remember. I'm going off of memory, and this is 15 years ago. I'm going from. But you get the PvP gear is really good. It's to the same extent in terms of how valuable it is as Tier 2 is. So full Tier 2 in Grand Marshal High Warlord gear is about equivalent. But the difference is the people with the PvP gear, more often than not, are going to beat the people that get the PvE gear from the dungeons. And the reason why is because, well, the PvP gear focuses a little bit more on stamina, and stamina gives you health. So if you have more health, oftentimes you're going to outlast your opponent, and even if it's a close fight, you're still going to win. The PvP gear and the PvE gear balance in WoW Classic is really solid. I remember when I played the Burning Crusade, they added in resilience. Resilience was terrible. It basically made that if you had any PvE gear whatsoever and the other person had gladiator gear, you would automatically lose because your spells wouldn't do nearly as much damage to them because they had resilience on their character. They don't have resilience in WoW Classic. It's just raw stamina added to the gear, and it actually, that you don't do as much damage, but you have more health. It's really balanced. It's way better than it was in the Burning Crusade and future expansions from what I've gathered. Dishonorable kills, as was said right here. I believe dishonorable kills. I actually don't remember what a dishonorable kill is. You gain dishonorable kills by killing opposing faction, civilian, NPC during PvP combat. Okay, so I'm guessing this is a NPC of the other faction that is not trying to fight you. So someone that's walking down the road that is not hostile and you kill them, then you get a dishonorable kill. That will count as like -100 or -500. There's a pretty big penalty to it. I remember it takes a lot to undo a dishonorable kill, and that will greatly affect, you ranking up in the PvP system to get items like this. Azurgos and Kazakh. If we go back here, these are world bosses. The whole theme of Phase 2 is world interaction, which is amazing. So now we have 2 bosses that are raid bosses that if you look at the loot table right here, these are Molten Core quality drops from Lord Kazakh. And I think Azurgos has even better gear than this boss does. And they have some off shot gear here too, like 20 stamina, 51 armor, chance to get a critical strike by 1, and then set 1% chance on melee critical hit to call forth the spirit of Escander. I remember my buddy who was a High Warlord Druid 15 years ago was drooling over this set. He wanted it on his Feral Druid so bad. These are the type of off-shot sets that classes like Druids and Rogues would really want to get their hands on, making these bosses, these world bosses, even more valuable. And it's going to make it really interesting because you're going to have 40 people trying to kill a Zergos or 100 people trying to kill a Zergos, and then the other factions' guilds are going to roll up, and you guys are just going to have a total bloodbath of PvP and raid boss action trying to kill these bosses at the same time, and it's total chaos, and it's lovely. It is literally awesome. So pumped. This phase is going to bring World of Warcraft Classic back to life. Right now, it's everyone just getting their stuff together and trying to prep themselves as best they can for Phase 2, because Phase 2 is when all the fun happens. That's when PvP starts. That is when the game truly exists. If you're on a PvE server, these don't affect you nearly as much, but in my honest opinion, World of Warcraft is meant to be on a PvP server, and this is just reinforcing everything that I've believed in and what I've been saying for a while now. If we go down to Phase 3, we'll talk about it real quick. Blackwing Lair, self-explanatory. PvP, the biggest thing we're getting here, Alterac Valley, Warsong Gulch. PvP battlegrounds are coming soon. Going to be able to queue up. It's going to be able to hit High Warlord and Grand Marshal a lot easier, but the competition also increases because they have easier access as well. So what's going to start happening then? We're going to have groups start forming PvP teams and guilds strictly dedicated to PvPing, and then there's going to probably be their version of DKP for who hits High Warlord, Grand Marshal, etc. And that is what is to come. A lot more fights are going to be taking place, and I am really excited. My name is GamerDev Tim. If you haven't hit the like button already, give me a like. Mash the subscribe button. And guys, if you like the content, leave a comment, talk to me. I'm all in. Love to hear from you guys. I'm out of here. See ya. Bye.